The moment I saw her laugh like that, head tilted, eyes glimmering in a way I hadn't seen in months, I knew. She wasn't laughing for me anymore. I stood on the opposite sidewalk, half hidden behind the cold rain sliding down my windshield. Through the cafe window, I watched my wife, Emma, lean across the table toward another man. Her hand brushed his. It wasn't a friendly touch. It was electric, intentional. The kind of touch that once belonged to me. And that's when everything inside me went quiet. No yelling. No anger. Just silence. The world kept moving, people passed by, the rain kept falling. But in that moment, something irreversible cracked in me. I don't remember driving home. I only remember the sound of my heartbeat echoing in my ears. The apartment smelled like her vanilla candle, the one she always lit before I came home. I sat on the couch, staring at the framed photo of us on our wedding day. She'd said she loved how safe I made her feel. I used to believe her. When she came home that night, I was still awake. "Hey," she said softly, setting down her purse. "You're up late." "Yeah," I said. My voice didn't sound like my own. She smiled, but her eyes flicked away too quickly. "Everything okay?" I studied her face, the faint smear of lipstick, the slightly uneven breath she took as if bracing herself. "Where were you?" I asked quietly. She froze. "Just out with Claire. You know, girls' night." Claire, her ever-reliable alibi. Except Claire had moved to Denver 2 months ago. I didn't confront her, not yet. I just nodded. "Hope you had fun." She looked at me for a moment longer, as if trying to gauge what I knew. Then she smiled again, uneasy. "Yeah. It was nice." That was the last conversation we had as husband and wife. The next morning before she woke up, I packed a small bag. Few clothes. My passport. The photo from our wedding. Then I wrote her a note, just 5 words. "Don't look for me, Emma." And I left. For the first few days, I drifted like a ghost. No calls. No messages. I didn't go to work, didn't talk to anyone. I drove until the city faded behind me, until the noise of my old life disappeared into the hum of tires on asphalt. I ended up in a small coastal town, the kind of place where no one asks questions. I rented a cheap room above a diner, got a job fixing boats for cash. My hands stayed busy, but my mind was a storm. Every night I replayed that cafe scene. Her laugh, a touch, the way she lied so easily. And every night I told myself I didn't care. But of course I did. Because love doesn't just vanish. It rots, slowly. A month passed before the first message came. "Where are you, Daniel? Please just talk to me." Then another. "I'm sorry. Whatever you think you saw, it's not what you believe." And another. "I can't sleep. Can't eat. Please come home." I didn't reply. Couldn't. But every word she sent pulled at something deep inside me. Guilt, anger, love. All tangled together until I couldn't tell which was which anymore. I told myself she was just sorry she got caught. But there were moments, like when she sent that voice message, her voice trembling, whispering, "I miss you, Danny." That made me wonder if maybe she truly did regret it. Still I stayed silent. 3 months later, on a gray morning, a man named Tom, one of the fishermen I worked for, handed me a folded newspaper. "You're in this," he said, his brow furrowed. I laughed, thinking it was a joke. But then I saw it. Photo of Emma and me. The headline read, "Local woman searches for missing husband. Foul play suspected." My chest tightened. She'd gone to the police. Claimed I'd vanished after an argument. My face was plastered everywhere. Online, in papers. She'd told them she just wanted me home safe. For the first time in months, I felt something close to pity. She must have been desperate. But part of me still wondered, was it guilt or love that drove her? That night I stood on the pier, staring at the dark sea. The wind carried her voice in my memory. Soft, broken. "I love you, Danny," I whispered to the waves. "Then why did you destroy us?" 2 more weeks passed before she found me. I should have known she would. I'd made the mistake of using my real name at the marina. The world's smaller than you think when someone's truly looking. I was working on a boat engine when I heard her voice behind me. Danny! The wrench slipped from my hand, clattering against the deck. Turn. She stood there, thinner, paler, her eyes swollen from crying. She looked nothing like the woman I'd watched laughing across that cafe table. Emma, I said quietly. She took a shaky breath. You're really here. How did you find me? I hired someone, she admitted, stepping closer. I had to. I didn't know if you were dead or alive. Danny, please, just let me explain. I should have walked away. But part of me needed to hear it. We sat on the dock as the sun dipped low, painting the water gold. She told me everything, or at least what she claimed was everything. His name was Evan. Coworker. She said it started as just friendship, the kind that fills the spaces marriage sometimes leaves empty. She swore she never planned to cross the line, but one night, after too much wine and a fight between us, she did. I ended it, she whispered, tears streaming down. That night you saw us at the cafe. I was telling him it was over. He was trying to convince me otherwise. That's why I touched his hand. I didn't even know you were there. I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But after betrayal, every word feels like a performance. Do you know what it's like, I said, my voice breaking, to watch the person you love become a stranger before your eyes? She nodded, sobbing. Yes. I feel it every day you're gone. For a long moment we just sat there, two broken people staring at what used to be love. She stayed in town for a few days, begging me to come home. We can start over, she said. Therapy. Whatever it takes. But I couldn't. Every time I looked at her, I saw that cafe window, the reflection of a man who was no longer enough. One evening, as she packed to leave, she said something that stayed with me. You disappearing, it hurt worse than anything. Because you didn't even let me fight for you. And maybe she was right. Maybe leaving without a word was my own form of cruelty. But sometimes silence is the only way to survive. It's been a year now. I still live by the sea. My hands are rough, my heart quieter. Some nights I still dream of her. The way she laughed when we were young before everything fell apart. Last week a letter arrived. No return address, but I knew the handwriting instantly. I still look for you in every crowd. If you ever forgive me, you'll find me where it all began, at the little cafe on 5th, every Sunday at noon. I haven't gone. Not yet. Maybe I never will. But sometimes when the wind carries the faint sound of laughter from the shore, I find myself wondering, what if she really was telling the truth? What if that night in that cafe she was trying to let him go, and I just didn't stay long enough to see it? Love doesn't always die with betrayal. Sometimes it lingers, like a ghost that refuses to leave, haunting every quiet corner of who you used to be. And maybe one day I'll stop running from it. But not today. Today, silence is still the only thing that feels like peace.